My name is, well, that's not important because this isn't about me. This is about you or anyone who needs to hear the stories that I'm about to tell. I am someone who has abilities. And what does that mean? Well, some people call it psychic, medium. I'm kind of all of the above. And I'm here to share with you the experiences of my life in hopes that it either comforts you, helps you, or could possibly entertain you. But what I want to get across is that these are true stories, 100% true. Some of them are scary, some of them are mystical, and some of them are inspirational. But the one thing that they have in common is it's always helped someone. And that's what I've dedicated my life to, helping people who have experiences that they don't understand. And that is why I'm here. I think that is my true calling in life. It's how I serve people. So I'd like to share with you a story that actually happened only about 6-7 months ago. I got a call from someone, and she was a little on the frantic side. She said, my daughter is having nightmares. She's having nightmares about demons. And I asked her if I could speak directly with her daughter. Her daughter got on the phone, and she's about 15, 16 years old. She said, I had a dream about a woman, but she was a demon. She was on a motorcycle, and she was circling our house. My brother and I were standing outside, and I was trying to protect him. She turned around to show her face to me, and it was horrifying. She was holding a knife, like she wanted to do us harm. I woke up paralyzed with fear, not knowing what to do. I asked the girl if she had been watching movies. She said no, she doesn't watch movies like that. I always ask questions to debunk and try to figure out exactly what is going on, and I don't jump to conclusions, or I don't even jump to the fact that it could be something spiritual. But she seemed to be legit. And one thing I can't stand is when entities or demons are going after children. So I immediately made time to go out and drive 2 hours east where I live to help. When I arrived, the mom, son, and daughter were all in the house. Prior to my arrival, I did a reading so that I could see exactly what was going on and what I was getting into. I asked for her to send the kids away, because you don't typically want the kids inside, especially if it's dealing with a demon. She sent the kids off to her sisters, and then it was just the mom and I. Dad was on a trip for business. We sat down, and the first thing I saw was a man in her house. He ran up the stairs to hide from me. So I called on the angels to bring him front and center so that he could explain why he was there. He said to me, I followed her in. I followed her in because I thought she was pretty, and decided to stay, and I'm not leaving. And he was very clear that he was not going to leave. And I was very clear in telling him he was going to be leaving. But not only the entity that was in her house, she had something much more sinister growing in her back patio. So I knew that I was going to have double duty, and it was going to take a while. I got to work immediately. I set up my altar. I said my prayers. I called in the angels, archangels. the Blessed Mother and her beautiful son, Yeshua, to help me to prepare in this battle. I got my tools. I asked her to walk with me because you have to give authority to have somebody do something like that in your house, or it won't work. I began walking the house, and I told her to go and open all of the windows, doors, and drawers. When I was at the front door, I heard a man's voice, and he was humming. He was standing somewhat close to me. And then I looked down, and her cat was crouched down like it was going to jump, and he hissed, and hissed again. I walked outside the door, and I waited a second, and when I looked in, the cat was still there. I called her down, and I said, please put the cat away, because it could be affecting the cat to try to scare me off. And the man's voice kept humming. He was also trying to scare me off. So I began my walk. I walk in faith, I walk in prayer, and I constantly stay in that state. When we got to the upstairs, it became more intense. Every smoke alarm in her house, and it was a large house, started going off, one after the other, after the other. It was trying to shock us into stopping because I was getting closer to the area that the entity was staying in. He was a stubborn entity. I finally found where he had been hiding, and as I walked in to sit in the closet in the darkness with the faith of God's light by me and with me and inside of me, she decided to stay on the outside. She was pretty scared, and I was grateful that she stayed because it is her house and I needed her to take authority back. We ended up getting the entity to the front door through all of the struggles, my heart palpitations starting, feeling lightheaded. These are all the tricks that they do to try to get you to stop, but I wouldn't stop, and we got it out. And the sinister thing on the patio, I was a little worried that I wouldn't have the energy for it, but luckily it hadn't been given enough energy to fully manifest itself. So I did a simple ceremony that I've learned in the Catholic Mass, and we got it out. Then I cleared her family. The kids came back. They all felt good. And the days following, they said, we're so happy now. We don't hear people walking up and down the stairs. Her daughter stopped having the dreams. There was happiness and lightness in the house, and that is truly a joy for me to hear, and it is truly my calling. I look forward to sharing more stories with you and telling you about all of these experiences that I have had.